So we're live. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hi, Marie. How are you?
Hi, Lisa. I'm great, thanks. Hi, everyone.
How are
Jasper's here.
things?
Big
Oh,
hi.
hey, Jasper. So awesome to be back. And there we go. So I wanted to ask you, how are things in Australia?
Yeah, look, it's been interesting. There's been a couple of changes in the last just 3 or 4 days. So Tasmania, which is the little island at the bottom of Australia, you weren't allowed in there at all for like literally 9 months unless you'd had this thing. And so they've just opened up everything to everyone, and they've said people can go back to work that haven't had it. Like, it's really interesting. Um, So Queensland I'm still in the same scenario where I can't go in anywhere, and we can now get over the border though, and we can go. But Western Australia is like a jail. They've shut their borders still to everyone. No one can come in or out. And even if you've got this, you'd have to do like 2 weeks quarantine, and it has to be because someone's father was dying, and they went over there and they were doing the quarantine, and they wouldn't even let them out in a hazmat suit to go and see him before he died. It's just horrific. But it's all sort of shifting. I feel it will all shift fairly soon. So I'm hoping that they've dropped these things in Queensland where I live now, which is from next week. So it's starting to happen. So, but I'm happy. I'm just still in my little bubble. I just put myself in my bubble, and I'm okay.
I know, right? It's like we got to live in like our own little dream space. Like it's not
Totally.
happening around us. And that's what I do. And it helps immensely. I really do live like it's not even happening, really.
No,
I do.
and I mean, I'm so blessed. I have so many friends that are like-hearted and like-minded, and so we all get together and we do beautiful, barbecues or meditation nights, and it's just, yeah. So I'm really blessed. I'd hate to be someone. I wouldn't like it if I didn't have that support or didn't have that connection with people. That must be really tricky for people that are a little bit on their own. So I'm really
Yeah.
grateful, really
Yeah.
blessed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
And with that said, we want to encourage people to start looking for people that are around, that are like them, you know.
I know.
Look,
Wouldn't it be great to do like a meetups? You've heard of meetups, obviously, where you have, you've got an interest in a group of something, and you put it out for people that are, like that. So you could sort
yeah,
of meet up with
that's how
people.
I started the people around me. So I
Ah,
met the spiritual people around me. So I
yep.
created my own meetup in the area.
Ah,
And yeah, those are my friends now. Those are my
yeah,
spiritual community.
yeah,
And yeah, I absolutely tell people to start going into meetup and uh, you know really look for other people like you. And if
yeah,
not, do what I did, create your own. There's so many people out there looking for people like you.
yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so true. So, and I mean, even when we go to like the big, freedom rallies and things, like over 100, I think there was 150,000 people there the last time, and this is a city of only like 3 million. So you can just see how many people are out there. It was just beautiful. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. So, are you ready to give us a
Mm,
quick, like, centering and
yes.
connecting?
I think that'd be wonderful. And today again, we're connecting into like the elementals, the plants and things like that, aren't we? So I'll include that in it as well. So all
Yes.
right, okay. So if everyone wants to just sit comfortably, feet on the floor or lie down, wherever's best for
Mm.
you. Just take a big breath in for me, and as you breathe out, just let yourself drop back into your body, dropping your shoulders, letting go of tension. Sometimes we don't even know it's there. Now, one more breath in. And this time, take your attention as you breathe out into your heart space. Gently close your eyes. And as you connect into that beautiful big heart space of yours, I want you to see, sense, or feel, or have the intention of bringing white light, vibrant white light, through into that heart space. And as this white light comes through, it begins to expand And if you've got any pain in your body, or if you've got any pain in your mind, allow it to drop into your beautiful heart to be released into this white light. And as this white light begins to expand through your body, up through your chest, your neck, your head, down through your arms, all the way down through your torso, hips, expanding down through your legs, all the way into your toes, until every single cell is vibrating with this white light. It just keeps on expanding out into your energy field. Again, clearing any cords or hooks or ties where you might be connected to a person or situation where you've been losing energy. Let's just release all of that now and bring through a state of peace and a state of acceptance. And now we're going to ask our beautiful plant energies, all of our healing herbs, all of the plants that are here for us to rejuvenate and nourish our beautiful bodies. We ask for that frequency to come through from them. We offer them a space of trust, of peace, and of connection. And just feel and sense this energy coming through into your aura, into your electromagnetic being. And now you can gently begin to come back into the here and now, wriggling your toes, focusing on your breath, and bringing back that sense of peace and balance and centeredness and connection to your beautiful divine essence. And open your eyes when you're ready.
Very good. That felt beautiful.
Yeah, so I do run frequency for people when we're doing that, so you might actually feel that. So
very good. Very good. So while I was doing that, I got the nudge to ask Jasper about what we're going to talk about today. Does he have something to say?
Okay, Jasper, let's have a chat to Jasper. Okay, so what he's showing me is, and tune in as well, Elisa, and anyone that's watching, hi guys, tune in, and I'm just going to give it a few seconds so you can get something, because we could all get a different message as well, which can actually create a bigger picture. So what he's showing me is this beautiful light that's connecting all of the plants and all of the beings that live within the plants, within this matrix of energy, this grid lines. And it's just so bright. And I'm seeing this gold going through it now as well. It's the connection is just beautiful. It's like a web, and he's showing me like a spider web now through it all. So yeah, and the gold's definitely coming in. So what were you getting, Elisa? I
wasn't getting anything other than you should ask Jasper to say something. And I was like, all right.
So what that's sort of showing me is that when we do call in that energy, we can be connected with it. So we can actually receive and give off frequency between these beautiful plant world. We don't have to be ingesting it or whatever. It can come through etherically with an intention. So that's what he's actually showing me with showing me that. So if anyone else got anything,
Jasper.
Yeah, that was actually really beautiful. Good thought, Elisa. Good on you for trusting.
Yeah, absolutely. So today we're going to talk about another plant, medicinal plant, which is
cannabis.
Yeah. It has many names.
Yes.
But today, because it's medicinal, I believe cannabis is the best word to use for this beautiful plant. And I had heard a couple of things about it. There's some things I learned also from a friend that's going to be really interesting. So you guys want to definitely hang on till the end. Very cool questions that he provided. So the first question I wanted to ask is, I had heard that this plant was not native to Earth and was brought here by extraterrestrials.
Oh, okay. So we're looking at the origins of it. So, yeah, okay. Okay, let me just tune into these cards here. Yep, that one wants to come out. Oh, that one wants to come out. And that one wants to come out. Wow, wow. I think you could be right, because the first card that came up was the Wheel of Fortune, which is a change of something. And what's standing out is actually the books. So to me, books are wisdom, law that's written down. So it's obviously something that has been organized or given to the world. And then we've got the Nine of Cups, which is wishes and dreams. So it does feel, and the King of Wands. So the King of Wands, is all around spiritual mastership. So I'm going to do a clarifying card, because that's sort of telling us maybe more why it's come through, which is because it was seen to be needed.
That I have. What is the purpose for the plant being here? So that would be the next question. So
it's funny. So it's answering you. For some reason, it's giving us that first, and now I'll answer if it's sort of come through from somewhere else. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Come back here. They're dropping off today. So the first one that's come up as to did it come from somewhere else is the Ten of Wands. So to me, this is something's finishing and something new coming through. Okay, so what I'm getting then is the Empress. So this is our beautiful mother that nurtures us. This is our feminine principle, the creator, and then an Ace of Pentacles. So what I was seeing with this is it maybe wasn't so much dropped in by a UFO and extraterrestrials going, here you go, guys, have this. It's almost, to me, I'm getting, it's almost like the crystals, how they come in from the light, they come in through the earth and then are birthed in through the grid lines of the earth. I have a feeling that this was orchestrated on a timeline to come through for us, because it was known it was going to be needed. So it's come onto earth, but through the divine grid lines and energy fields is what I'm getting.
Oh, wow.
So what are you getting? What is your or you heard anything? Sorry, I'm just dropping everything today.
No, I just had never given it any more thought when I had heard that it was supposed to. Oh yeah, we can talk about kratom as well. But you guys will have to help me with kratom questions, because I'm not very well versed. All I know is I tried it and I did not do well with it.
What? Sorry, I don't even know what that is, because you guys use different words to what we use sometimes.
Yeah, it's KRATOM.
Yeah.
KRATOM. But I think Wolf Love was answering this question. Is there a plant that assists with general anxiety and depression?
Okay.
So because we're talking about cannabis, let's ask if cannabis does that.
Yeah, sure.
Which it does for many people. For me, it's the opposite, but yeah.
And this is exactly right. And I was going to sort of talk about that as well. So yes, it does. So for some people, it does actually help the mind. However, I have seen when it's used, and depends on the actual cannabis. So some of them depends how they're grown. It depends on the intention that's put in. I've seen such a difference between them in just how it's grown and the intention that's put into it. And I only learnt that this year through a friend that was growing it in love. And even his mum was going, I can even have this so beautiful. I don't get any negativity. So no, it definitely can help some people. But as you say, Elisa, for some people, it doesn't work well. And some people can even go into like a psychotic type.
I have a friend whose daughter actually turned schizophrenic after she did it at 18 years old, and now she's in disability for life.
And so so years, oh my God, the cards we're getting on this are amazing. So I'm pulling cards as we're talking. Oh goodness. So when I was younger and I'd go to parties, we had a lot of home parties where I grew up, and people, if they'd had some, I'd go up to them and they'd go, Marie, can you do a little massage for me? Because I loved doing that energy work. So I'd do energy work, and I learned a lot through it, because what I found it did was it expanded their energy field to a point where it was really frayed almost, depending how much they'd had. So I would bring their energy back in and just be talking to them. And within about 20 minutes, they'd be going, what have you done? I'm completely straight. So it actually expanded their energy. But I noticed then that that's when little hook-ins, like little negative entities and stuff, could hook in when if they weren't in a good space within themselves. So that was really that taught me so much about it when I was younger from an energy point of view.
Oh, so ask about that.
So yeah, so again, these are
Ask,
the
yeah.
I'll show
Ask
you these ones first.
if it expands the energy field or if that's what it's meant to do.
Yeah, it can, because the sun card came up, which is like always, it's joyful, it's in a child, it's bring through, because a lot of people start laughing and they release, endorphins or whatever it is that happens for them. And that happens, so that can happen and that can create a reality for them that is joyful and happy. And when they're doing it with friends, so what I'm getting as well is if people are in a good space, if they're in a very happy or they're already in a place that is actually balanced and centered, it can enhance that. But I'm going to ask question like you just said about the so more the effects. Is that what you're asking on people?
Yeah.
So
If it increases your auric field, or maybe it's something different. Maybe it's a
yeah,
different energy that it's
yeah.
extending out.
So let's have a look and see. Yeah, let's have a look at that. Yeah, so it can actually change. So the Four of Pentacles has come up. So it's it depends on the foundation it's working from. So it does expand the energy. You can change the energy field because 5 is fast change. It can very quickly, it can change and expand it. And just again, it can create a feeling of being connected and being in a really nice situation, because the 10 of Cups is around joy and happiness. So it can do. And I feel, so what that's saying to me is with this card, where is it particularly, if it's done from a place of the reason for doing it is to have joy, and then it will come through as that. I feel when people maybe do it every day to survive, it actually does suppress emotions.
For anxiety. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it depends how it's been taken. And again, it depends how it's been grown, what type of plant it is, because there's so many different types.
Yes.
So it makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Very good. So something I didn't know is that humans have according to my friend, that humans have neural receptors for cannabinoids. So can we ask, do humans have neural receptors for cannabinoids?
Yes, in actual fact, I have done quite a few years ago. I did a course on all of this, and I learned quite a lot. But I'll ask the cards first, and then we'll see what comes up with them. Oh, there is a hot one. We'll get that one out. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Yep. So we've got the 10 of Pentacles that's come up, and to me, this is always yes. And you can see there's so many on there. It's like yes, it's not just neuroreceptors. So because we've got the 2 of Wands in as well, which is really contemplating the earth. It's actually quite a balance within the body. So what I understand is that it's actually an endo, it's like an endocrine system. It's a whole cannabinoid system that is within our body. So just about every cell has this cannabinoid receptor. Because I think I was telling you before, Elisa, as a midwife, we used to have an express when we used to feed the neonatal babies. I used to work in ICU with the real little tackers, like we're talking, 26 to 32, 33 weeks. And we used to have this big bank with expressed breast milk in it because we could. This was in the 80s. But then once AIDS hit or HIV came through, we had to stop that, and we had to start using formula for these tube feeds that we were doing. And I really noticed a change in the babies, and they were still screaming like they were hungry even after you'd fed them. And I just couldn't understand it. Their tummies would be distended. They'd obviously had their food. It wasn't till I did this course a few years ago that they explained that breast milk actually activates the cannabinoid receptors within the body. So if a baby doesn't have the breast milk, it's not activating them. So they don't know when they're hungry. They don't know when they're satiated. So these babies can often grow up, unless it's activated at some point, to be either very overweight or very underweight and not be able to put on weight. So it was fascinating what I learned from this course. So
Wow.
yeah, definitely is receptors in the
Very
whole body.
good. So then the next question was, why do cats have them, but not dogs?
Oh, that's a really good question, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so let's find out. So shall we check first to see if that's right? So that cats have
Right.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's just check first. I didn't know that. That's fascinating. Okay, this one wants to come out.
And Joyce, you're asking where are the origins from Earth? Yes, we threw the cards earlier, and it said that it is from Earth.
Yeah.
Um,
So I asked, is that true that the cats have it and not the dogs? And it came up with the King of Pentacles. So yeah, there's obviously a master plan here, a master strategy as to why that's the case. And then we got the nine of swords, which is about unnecessary worry or sort of, something that's concerning. And and then we've got the four of pentacles, which is a baseline. So what I'm getting from this is that they've got different makeup energetically. So I mean, dogs sort of seem to have a lot of endorphins naturally, whereas, you know what I mean? They just got this natural love and joy within them. Yeah. So, I mean, cats are completely different, aren't they? Cats are very, I don't know, they seem to be very, very, very connected to source, to the etheric, or a lot of the time. So that could be why they actually have it and the dogs don't. Yeah, so there's the temperance cards come up. So it's actually something's quite different, and something is very different between the two energetic fields of the animals. That's interesting. I didn't even know
so
that.
see if you can figure out why. Why is it that cats have them and dogs don't?
I feel it's an energetic thing, so that cats maybe, I don't know, maybe they get it because you know how cats and dogs will eat grass or whatever. So maybe there's something in them, like humans, that needs to be activated. Let's find out and see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay. Yep. It still just keeps coming up. So the Wheel of Fortune's come up. So it's like there's a real difference, and it almost looks like sort of like a dog thing underneath there, doesn't it? So it's like it's just the difference within their actual makeup and what they need on an energetic level, because everything works energetically. So again, the Five of Swords has come up, so it's a change. There's something different. So whether the cats need it for some reason, because it's like cats need meat as well to activate a particular enzyme in their body, right? I don't think dogs do. I think cats do need that meat to activate this enzyme. And then we've got the Star card. So it's definitely aligning with an energetic purpose, or it's just their whole makeup is as to why they've actually got it. So again, like I said, cats need different things to dogs, even physically.
Yeah. I wonder if it has to do with, well, to me, I don't know. I had kind of gotten like I feel weird that catnip makes them react a certain way. So I feel it has something to do with that, something to do with, like they have a connection to plants, unlike dogs don't.
Yes. I really do feel that that's actually what it is. And I mean, some of them get addicted to catnip. I've seen, videos of these cats just like really wanting their catnip. And there was something else then about dogs that I was sort of downloading as well. Have you seen the dogs that actually deliberately get themselves like stung by bees, or because what happens, the first time it happens, it's really painful, but they get this big endorphin hit or something afterwards. So they deliberately go and then keep getting themselves stung by bees to have this endorphin hit. So it's just bizarre. So yeah, have a look at that and see, because
That is so interesting.
crazy world, huh? So dogs like that, the histamine release obviously gives them something, whereas for cats, that would probably be the opposite. So it's almost, okay. So look at the dog, it's always seen as the masculine aspect. The cat's always seen as the feminine aspect. So there's a difference there in how their makeup, what they react to. So there you go.
Interesting. So the next question is the plant changing humans and humanity helping them evolve?
Okay, let's ask that question. So
And Wolf Love is saying, old neighbor dog did that, Marie. He would get crazy on the bee venom. He loved it.
I know, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, these dogs with these big faces. Oh,
So
wow.
funny.
Okay. Yeah, that is really funny, isn't it? And I'd completely forgotten about that until we were on here. So, yeah. Okay. So the first card that's come up is the Tower. So it's definitely, so it either can create a really big change in people, or if people are going through a big change, because then the World card came up. So it's definitely, to me, it's a gift, because the Page of Swords has come up. So this is learning around mind, words, wisdom. It's all mental plane. So very much that neurovascular. So definitely coming through to help the world when people have gone through a hard time, or, we're sick, or our body needs help. And, I remember back from what I've heard, back in the 50s, doctors, GPs used to actually write out marijuana or cannabis for people to take as a medicinal treatment. So, because I've worked in the medical industry for so long, I sort of read and heard a lot of these stories. And then, of course, it got banned. And we know why it got banned, don't we?
Exactly.
Yes. So,
Exactly.
So you're definitely here to help and support people and the world. So, and
Very good.
it's like its little cousin. I mean, you've probably heard of this, but hemp, how hemp is like, related, but without is it TCH, THC? But if you grow a field of hemp and it's been grown where there's been lots of poisons and sprays and toxins, if that first hemp crop will actually remove all of that toxicity
That's
out of
crazy.
the ground. Yeah. So look at that. They're all related. They're all in that same family. And yet that was even illegal. Like in Australia, that's only just come back in the last 2 years. You can even use hemp and do it legally, like as a produce. And yeah, so.
Yeah, anything that's illegal,
It's good.
It's good. Absolutely. It's good for us. And we should see those coming back really soon.
I think so too. Mm-hmm.
Did the ancient prophets named in the Bible use it in their anointing oils, incense, and burt offerings? And I don't know what burt is, B-U-R-T. Have you heard of that word before?
Is it burnt offerings? Like, how you do saging and stuff or whatever? Is that what it means? I can't see the question.
Yeah, no, it's my own question.
Oh, that's why I can't see
Or
it.
from my friend. I should say from my friend.
He might have meant, or they might have meant burnt offerings. So let's have a look and see. Okay. Oh.
So Katina's asking, reading about the actual world situation. Actually, I just finished watching Jean-Claude Beyond Mystic. He just did a show just now at 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern, and he did a reading about the Emerge situation. It's actually all about it. So you might want to go and watch that, of course, after we're done here.
That's right. I was watching that too. And it's, and it was exactly what my gut was telling me was what she was saying. I was just going, no, everyone's just got it wrong. It's that was my feeling. So,
yeah.
So
okay,
did they use
the question was, did the
Yeah.
ancient prophets name in the Bible use it in their anointing oils, incense, and offerings?
Yes, when there was a situation that was causing some distress, or they needed to clear something, the Hierophant, that is either a priest or a high, not religious, a high sort of person in that a spiritual world, they would be using it, and it would have been done with great reverence because it was the Queen of Pentacles has come up. So this is a very contemplative honoring of our inner emotions, inner heart, inner wisdom.
Yeah.
And it's really, so and creating something from that. So so creating something through that. But it would have been done as a really divine ritual.
Okay, very good.
To change
Very
things,
good.
because that came up next. So to
Okay.
shift things. Yep.
Very good. Okay, the next question is, does it work with the sacred mushroom that we talked about in the last video?
Let's see if the two are compatible. That's what we're sort of asking, isn't it?
Yeah, do they work together?
Do they work together?
And if so, he wants to know, if so, how?
Okay. Because I mean, some things are very synergistic. It's like they say the orange inside, the orange peel, the white part of it is actually, you need that to activate the orange to be able to get everything, the vitamins and that you need from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did you not know that? So you don't take the white part off you can take the peel off, but you leave as much of that white on your orange as you can, because it's a synergistic action with it being absorbed into the body.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm actually getting a no, because it's an 8 of Cups. So it's walking away from something, leaving something behind, and then the Tower. So I feel they work differently. This is what I'm getting. So maybe they can be used alternating, but not together, because the Temperance card has come up, which means it moves realities, but doing it together. I'm just going to pull a clarifying card. Oh, that one's really hot. Let's just see what that one says. Yep, that one's really hot. Yeah, I'd say no.
No, that's a big no.
So, but I'm feeling that it can be used at different times, but not together. So you'd want to maybe experience your beautiful mushroom healing first, come into a place, and then you might find that you don't need that support, or you just may not need it after that.
Yeah.
So
Okay, very
that
good.
was interesting.
Very good.
Yeah.
The next question is mine. Why does it have a male and a female plants?
Yeah, good question.
Because as far as I know, there aren't any others like that. Well, not that I know a lot about the plant kingdom. I don't. But I've never heard of male and female before.
There is with trees, definitely with trees, the macadamia nut. Yeah, but I don't know about plants, but we used to have a macadamia nut, and we had to plant the male for it, I think, for it to actually be able to flower and do the the fun bits between them.
Yeah,
so that they would bring fruit. Yeah.
When I heard there was a male and a female, I was like, what?
Oh. Well, isn't this interesting though, Elisa? Because what's popping into my mind is the dog and the cat scenario. Because remember, one needed it, one can have it, and one doesn't have it. So that masculine feminine principle. So and I'm just trying to remember, is it the females that have the very strong heads and things on it, because it needs the male to actually activate it? My God, it's been too long.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's why I wanted to know.
So look at this. So it's actually because the seed's planted, but again, it needs that energy of both coming together. I'm just going to pull some more cards on that. Hang on. Oh, that one's really hot. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, to bring through the actual gift, because of course the Page of Cups brings us through a gift, but it needs to have both to do that. But it's again, as it came through into the earth, King of Wands. Now remember when we first asked how did it come onto the earth, and the King of Wands was one of the cards that came up. So because of that spiritual aspect with it, it's like bringing together that masculine feminine in perfect balance to bring through what we need. So that's what's coming through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. I just thought it was interesting that it's the only plant that's like that. I wish we could find out why it is different.
Yeah.
Why is it different than all the other plants? Because all the other plants don't need the male and female thing.
They have their bees, don't they? The bees take the pollen from one to another, and it's more a unisex, I suppose, type situation.
Yeah,
So,
like what makes this plant different?
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's the same for the trees. Why does something like a macadamia nut, which apparently is extremely good for us as well, is the macadamia nut has that as well. So let's just ask and see if it's energetic. Okay. All right. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God, you're not going to believe this. So the first cut up is the moon. Now, to me, this is always something that's on the little bit on the dark side, the inner side. Maybe not. It hasn't maybe come out yet. So I feel that it was done like this to protect it, because the Empress come up. The Empress always, to me, everything's great, everything's going to work out. It's a really strong masculine card. So it's almost like it was being protected by not being in one form. It needs both of those to create it, to create that magic almost in it. And
You
then
know what? What's coming to me is that it's that it has to be purposeful.
King of Wands again. You got it.
So, in other words, like when you know you need one and the other, somebody has to actually like help the process, and like at that point, it becomes purposeful, where it needs action. It's not just some wildflower growing out there, and right?
Though it does grow naturally as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess then it's just whether that's there or not. But it feels like an energetic safeguard for it to be to have each aspect of it, to the masculine and the feminine.
But it would still be purposeful then for it to be there in that space.
Oh, got you. Now I'm with you. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even if it grows wild, it would.
Yeah.
I would think there would be a purpose for it to be there. I don't know.
And I mean, like, do other animals use it? Is what I'm getting. I'm sure that other animals eat it as well for their health. That's something I'd love to find out, even through research. So yeah, let me just see if that's the case, because I know it loves growing in really hot climates with lots of water. That's its sort of best growing conditions.
Yeah.
So yeah. Ooh, definitely a strategy, because we've got the 5 of Swords, which is change. We've got the 7 of Wands. 5 of Wands. So 2 5 cards, which is change, and then the Tower. So it changes things up for people. So or for animals, or for wherever it's growing. So yeah. So I feel that you're right. It's grown in specific areas for when it's needed.
So it is purposeful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a specific purpose. Yeah. Okay. And Katina has a great question. I don't understand how an organic hallucinogen will help me in the ascension process. Please explain.
Okay. So do you want to talk to this first, Elisa, or just with your understanding of things?
Can we ask if it does help in the ascension process or not? Okay. I would think it depends on the person. If the person is somebody who's anxious and who is in a lower vibration, then, well, I guess the question would be, does this lower your vibration? Because if it lowers your vibration, then no, it's not going to help you in the ascension process. So with
the word hallucinogen, is that the same as hallucinogen? Is that what we're looking at? Hallucinogenic?
Yeah, hallucinogenic, yes.
Okay.
But I don't know if that plant is a hallucinogenic, though. It's not like you hallucinate when you take it. Maybe she's asking about the mushroom.
Yeah, so maybe any organic hallucinogen, whether it's mushroom or whatever. So because what I got first up was The Four of Swords. So this is that mystery. There's still some mystery underneath. So it depends, as you said, I think it depends on the person and what's going on for them.
Yeah.
So if someone has a lot of anxiety or they've got some blocks within their energy field, then it's not going to help them. However, we've got our beautiful Six of Cups, which is offering someone a gift. So, and that person, the little person that is looking at down at other gifts. So I guess it depends what you need, and intuitively you'll be guided to what is going to help you, because some may not and others may. Everyone responds so differently. And then the Nine of Cups. So whatever you need and whatever is going to help you, it's like you have to follow, it's like anything. It's when we get an intuition, you've got to follow the dots and find out what it is that is going to work for you.
Yeah.
So, because, some people have amazing responses to it, because it helps to clear any deep blocks or any trauma that's within the psyche and within the neuro pathways in the brain. So, yeah, it depends on that person. I think you're right, Elisa.
Okay. All right. So she's commenting on ayahuasca, and ayahuasca is very, very, and that was going to be the next questions in this process that I was going to ask was about ayahuasca, because I have done ayahuasca, and ayahuasca it is hallucinogenic.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that what I saw was something that changed and actually helped me ascend faster, because what I saw was my purpose. It was like the way it was stated, and what I saw was like, oh my God, I have to stop going to my matrix job, my muggle job, and I have to do my spiritual work. I have to get it done as soon as possible. So for me, I can tell you for sure, ayahuasca was huge in my move up to 5D.
Yeah.
I can tell you it was definitely for me. Now, it could be ayahuasca, could be just like, any other plant, medicinal plant. There's a reason they're called medicinal plants.
That's right.
So did you throw cards on it?
Yeah, I've got some cards here, and I mean, I've never tried ayahuasca. I've sort of looked into it, felt into it, and it never felt right for me. But I've heard so many people like yourself that have said it's more of it, rather than being a hallucinogenic, it actually was a vision. It was like they were on a vision quest, and they were actually seeing visions of other lifetimes that needed to be cleared, or like you said, you had a huge insight. Yeah. So it depends if people are used to maybe seeing visions as well as to what they call it. So
yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, the first day was horrible, but the second day was magical. I felt joy I had never felt in my entire life. I learned what true joy was, because I had never really felt true joy. So that was a gift, but let me tell you, I had to suffer through it the first day for sure.
So you would have been releasing like blocks and anything that was in there that needed to come up. So, and that's what this judgment card's about. So it's like bringing everything up, making it clear, and for it to be released, because that's like a death. So this is like releasing something from our body, our being, our energetic field. And then the Three of Pentacles has come up. And this can be actually setting up a spiritual scene or something that's real. It's like a plan. So for you were given an aspect of your plan forward. And that's almost like a vision quest when that comes up as well. There's something that's like a soul plan almost, I'm getting. So, and Justice is the clarifying card. So it actually brings about a sense of more justice. And which is, like you say, and it's different for everyone.
It is. Everybody has a different experience. I mean, I know of people that do it like constantly. And personally, I thought that this plant, and this is a question we can bring forth now.
Sure.
I thought that ayahuasca was something that you do very like once in your life, or maybe twice in your life. And I see people that do it over and over and over and over. And I'm thinking like, am I being judgy by saying like, you aren't supposed to do that? Maybe I'm wrong. So now is the perfect
Okay.
time to ask if
Let's see.
ayahuasca is something that you're supposed to do very rarely, or if it's okay to do it all the time.
Okay, let's just check in and see. Yeah. Okay. So the Three of Wands has come up, and this is again looking towards the future. So and then we've got the Page of Swords, which is learning. So it's a mind, a way of learning, a way of getting wisdom, but it's a young one. So I feel it's probably fine to do it because the stars also come up. But to me,
okay.
but to me as well, what I'm getting from this is it's very individual again, and that could be someone's pathway to help them to get there. And then they might need to have that. Here we go. They might need to do all that to start trusting themselves, so that they know they can do this maybe without using that all the time. Because our beautiful, our Nine of Pentacles is that really unique, powerful, beautiful, trusting, knows what she wants sort of being. So I feel that some people do have to go through that to get to that place. And I've known someone that did it like that, and they every time they got something from it, and but one day they'll go, I actually don't need this anymore. So as long as people are open to knowing and listening to their intuition and guidance as to when to stop. So
yeah, and the plant is really beautiful. I actually from my understanding, it is a leaf of one tree and the bark of another tree. So my question was, how did the shamans know that this combination of these two elementals of the leaf and the bark would create this experience for the user?
Yeah. Okay.
And yes, Jim. So Jim's asking, aren't you supposed to have a guide when you do it? Yes, you're supposed to have a shaman or somebody there absolutely creating the space, protecting the space, and making sure that you're going to be okay, because this plant is so powerful that you cannot do it if you are taking antidepressants. So you literally have to let go of all your antidepressants before you can do this. So it's a big deal. This is like, it can do damage if you go in there with taking antidepressants and stuff. So
absolutely. I think it's are they called 5-MeOs? There's those like antidepressants. There's a lot of things you can't take with them.
yeah,
Because it really causes problems. They're inhibitors of some sort.
Yeah.
So the first card we got was the Two of Pentacles, and so it's a balance. So I'm feeling this was something that was ancient, that was worked out through ceremonies and what worked, and then passed on down, because it was something that they had to work with to find out what did actually work.
Okay.
Because then we've got our Seven of Swords, which is a strategy. So you can see they're going, which ones? So, and then the Wheel of Fortune. So I would say that they've come up with this over time. I mean, you think back to shamanic rituals that people used to have when we were connected to the earth and connected to nature. And so they would have had an intuition, and actually then found what it was that actually invoked this or helped people.
Yeah.
So I think it could have been trial error, and then passing it down through wisdom, through these shamans.
Yeah. So the ayahuasca experience, you can talk to the plants. And when I did the ayahuasca, the first time around, I had heard there's a lot of throwing up, there's a lot of going to the bathroom, like it's coming out all the ways. And I was very specific when I went there, and I talked to the plant and I said, listen, I'm not willing to throw up here. It's just not an option. So please, anything you have to do, it needs to be going, the other side. And she honored.
Yeah.
She absolutely honored my request. And also, when I initially took it the first day, I thought I was having a heart attack. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die, having a heart attack. And I asked the plant, I said, what are you doing to me? And she said, you won't let go of control.
So she knew you. So
She knew,
isn't
and
that beautiful?
yeah, she
Yeah.
answered, and I said, oh my God. So, because guys, you have to understand, I'm in a place of my heart was completely shut down. My, I had people that would massage my body and would go, oh my God, you have an armor around your heart. When they would massage me, they could tell there was like, my heart was so close because I suffered a child not knowing. I mean, I always thought I had the perfect childhood. So this kind of nowhere to me, but it made sense why I was such a control freak. And I ended up being a project manager. That's what project managers do. They control, right? So it was like, that was the first time it hit me that huge. Again, it was huge for my growth to get to where I am now. So it was slap in the face, like, let go of control, like, let it go. So I put my arms out like this, and I was like, I release, I let go. I really said, kill me if you have to, because it felt like I was going to die. Yeah. And the moment I let go, it went away. It disappeared. The feeling of my heart just pounding away just disappeared.
But how beautiful you had the intuition to actually connect in with the consciousness of the medicine you were taking. And it's interesting because, for you, I pulled some cards while you were talking, and our Four of Pentacles came up. So this was your foundation. So it was quite structured. But then the King of Swords came up, which is your thoughts and your mind. And it was like you had to make that decision. And then what you achieved for yourself was this beautiful the Nine of Pentacles. So your individuality and your ability to be powerful without control. So that's a huge thing. And it's interesting because I haven't done ayahuasca, but I have done sapo, which is the toad, and I knew I'd only ever do it once. And I also spoke to the medicine. I did a beautiful, I was doing a cleanse for 6 weeks, had no idea why I was doing it. My intuition said, do this cleanse. And then 2 days before, I didn't even know I was going to do this. And then a friend said, Marie, I've got this organized. We can do this. And I went, that's why I've been doing this cleanse. So I was already getting prepped for it without even knowing. And then I said to the medicine, I spoke into the energy of it. And it was like exactly the same as you. I choose to not be sick physically. I choose to allow this to go through as it needs. But most amazing thing I've ever done in my life. I know I never have to do it again. And incredible connection.
Yeah, absolutely. And the first, again, the first day was, I don't want to say horrific, but it almost felt like I wanted to get out of my skin. Like I was like, it's just like almost having restless leg syndrome all over your body. That's what it felt like. And I was like, like I couldn't be comfortable. But I also do remember then after that went through was that joy that I mentioned that I had never felt before. I was laughing, giggling like I hadn't, I don't know if ever. So it was really, 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 I have to tell you, it was amazing. And then the second time was somebody drugged me to this place where she had been invited to do. And she's like, you have to be there. You have to be there. And I'm like, okay, like I wasn't looking. It's weird. It's me. And once I did it, that's when I received the message of the commander thing and how all of it that I needed to take care of at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's pretty. So it's right for people. It's right for people. So, but I actually noticed something Jim popped in there earlier about synthetic marijuana. And honestly, I've heard some horror stories around that, Jim. I think you're spot on. It's a friend of mine's. I think it was her nephew in New Zealand. He actually died from taking it. It's people think it's just weed, it's just synthetic weed. This stuff, and I've heard it of a few people now. It's not good. So if you're thinking of trying out that,
Wow.
it's not the same. Always go for something. Know where it's been
Organic.
grown. Yeah, know where it's been grown. Know who's growing it. Know what the intention is behind it, if possible. And you know, and I've also been researching and finding that they used to use the leaves of marijuana even in their food, in their cooking, you know, and so that's something that we're missing as well from our life. It'd be like picking a piece of like lettuce or something, but you'd have
Yeah,
all
we
these
should be
beautiful
putting it in with our lettuce when we're eating our
and in our
salad.
smoothies, and yeah, I know. And I went, of course we should. Like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So yeah, so they're asking about the next topic. I really haven't thought about it myself. If you guys want to give us some ideas, but in Beyond Quantum Tarot, the discussion here, you know, Reality Check Tarot is about ancient aliens. On this side of the house, the Beyond Quantum is all things spiritual. So we started with the elementals, and I really not thought about what, you know, what other things we could talk about. But I did want to ask you this question, Marie. Being on
Yeah,
antidepressants, does it stop us from feeling real positive vibrations and energy? That is an excellent question
it is a really
that
good
I think
question,
we need to
Maya.
let people know
Okay,
about.
okay,
And I'm going to
okay.
look at the ideas I had for future.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look, if people need it to just to start with, just to get through whatever it is they're going through, the people are usually in a fairly, you know, bad state if they're thinking about taking antidepressants. At the end of the day, though, they're not going to work with what's going on our earth energetically and the mental plane. It's like the frequency needs to shift. So I think over time, it's not going to do what it's meant to do. It has to come from a consciousness aspect. And this is the new learning and the new ways of healing that are going to be used on the earth. So, because then I got the 10 of Wands, which again is completion of something, something's finished. I really feel that our whole mental depression, everything like that, is going to explode in the next few years. And this stuff that has been given to them by, by our pharmaceutical companies is not going to cut it, and people are going to know that. So it's really energetic, and that hermit cards come up. So this is much more inner reflection, inner looking at within for our answers, and looking at it from an energetic level, because we've got so many schisms and so much trauma that's happened. It's about releasing that. So I feel that maybe at first it could be really helpful for people, but there needs to be a longer term plan in place for those people that are taking antidepressants, and they interact with so many things. I saw people that were taking antidepressants that would then drink, and they would just go completely off the rails. So it's not really that conducive sometimes for people. But honestly, if people need it, start on it if that's really what you need. But maybe look at other ways of helping. Yeah, with and just saw Wolf Love. Yeah, big pharma going down. You bet, baby. So going to go down, and people will not trust it anyway because of the truths that will come out. So yeah.
Okay. So I don't. All I wrote were portals, stargates.
Okay.
Maybe black holes. I have elves, Sasquatch, magic, moon energy. Do you have anything, Murray, that you?
Well, we could talk about the earth. I mean, you know how some people go, oh, that place is haunted, I don't want to go there, or something weird always happens. We could talk about specific places on the earth that people might have questions about, you know, like with vortexes and energy grid lines and things, you know, like, yeah, sacred places. So like, I don't know, it depends if that's what people want to look at. So maybe get people to pop some dragons. It's so funny because I pulled the dragon card. Maya Kaya had said dragons, and I actually have my beautiful animal magic cards, and the dragon card did come up. So
didn't we already talk about
Oh,
dragons?
we did talk about dragons. Gosh.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah. We already have an episode on dragons.
Haunted spots. Yeah, we could look at haunted spots.
Yeah,
and
or
have
inner earth. Inner earth is a good question.
That's a great question.
Oh wait, so Jim has a question about tobacco.
Oh, okay. Let's see. It's just the plant. Can she? Okay. I cannot see this. Yep, just the plant. Can she come in? Okay.
I don't really have much to comment about tobacco. It doesn't call me.
Yeah. So, okay. So it's really interesting because I know that in ceremonies, a lot of the time it's tobacco can release nitric oxide in the brain with red wine. So a lot of ceremonies, they will smoke a pipe. This is sometimes why they'll smoke a pipe with tobacco in it, because it does activate like the pineal gland or the pituitary gland. There's something in it, nitric oxide or nicotinic oxide. I can't remember now what it's called. Definitely something in it that activates the brain. So, I mean, and look, if you're going to smoke, definitely organic tobacco, because it doesn't have the pesticides in it, is a good way to go. So let's just, I can pull some cards and just see what it says. Yeah. So yeah, if you're gonna smoke, organic definitely is the way to go. Okay, let's just have a little look and see what we get. Okay. Yep. So the hermit's come up. So this is about inner reflection and meditation. So sometimes maybe the smoking is actually giving that person time to stop and to actually reflect and contemplate. And then we've got the mystery card again, the Four of Swords. So there's something under there that's a mystery. So also too with smoking, I know that sometimes negative entities can use people to do their addictions through them. It's less and less now because as our frequency rises, but that's something to check into as well, just to see if there's if she's happy smoking, go for it. But if she wants to give up or she's not sure. And then the Page of Cups. And as I said, that tobacco was given to us as a gift as well for ceremony and things like that. So the organic tobacco, it's better than the other stuff definitely that you get in like the cigarettes that are made by the companies. And again, it's intention. So if you have the intention of I'm going to love what I'm doing, whether it's having alcohol, whether it's having food, whether it's having cigarettes, have an intention that this is actually, I'm blessing this. And to me, that changes everything, is our intention as well.
Big time. So, yeah. Thank you, Maya Kaya, for your donation. Thank you so much. We do this with love and joy because we love doing it. All right. So I wrote down all the stuff that you guys gave us as far as ideas. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put it out on for a vote. The next discussion we're going to have for the reality check tarot on Monday is going to be Antarctica. And it's going to be, I wrote down the seasons for you if you guys want to watch the episodes before you come, so you have your own questions that you can give us. So the episodes for Antarctica are season 14, episode 1, and season 11, episode 1. Okay, so season 14, episode 1, season 11, episode 1, and that's going to be for Monday of next week. So I'm excited to talk about Antarctica. And I know, Marie, I know you mentioned you wanted to do it. So
yeah, I want to find out more about it as well. So, and it's such a great space to be able to do it in. So, but I have got 2 cards popped out from the Animal Magic for everyone. So the Sphinx has come out. Now the Sphinx is about mastership, and you can see that beautiful gold frequency coming through. So we're being very triggered. You might find that you get light body symptoms. So you might get creaky joints, or you might get a bit of a headache, or you might be dizzy or tired. this means we're shifting and changing and actually bringing through a new frequency. So that will pass. So that might be happening at the moment because the next card was Phoenix. So there's a lot of stuff with this gold frequency that's on the earth that's being completely exploded. So don't worry if you're really angry or you're going through this stuff. It's okay. It will shift. Okay, just nurture yourself. So everything's been blown up at the moment. It's great.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. We love having your questions, and hope to see you on Monday at the same time. So big hugs, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye, Jasper.
Yeah, Jasper says bye. He's holding lots of gold frequency at the moment.
Bye-bye, everybody.